Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Some of you will see this slide and go, that looks familiar. Audrey was in last week, and it was a Zillow team meeting that happened, and she didn't even get all the way through her slides because I have her slide deck, and there's some really great stuff in here. So I just thought I would tap into that because since we're working on the ALM scripting today. Can you tell me how many of you have ALM memorized? And do you know what it is? What is ALM?
Appointment, location, and motivation.
Yeah. And who was that? Was that Melissa?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, we've got agents that have been working on ALM for over a year now, and you just joined us. So congratulations on that. So guys, ALM is the appointment, location, motivation. Remember in the Zillow training that we had. So that's what we're going to wrap ourselves around today, but it's not just for Zillow leads. It's for any of your lead sources that you're working with. It's a fantastic way to get the appointment. Obviously, you want to build a little rapport in there. And so we'll talk about some of that as well today. So I just want to go through a couple stats that she had on her slide deck that I thought was absolutely worth sharing today to kind of get the head start on what we're doing. Make sure you guys are paying attention, right? And make sure that you, the expectation would be that you actually do implement this into your business. If you're not doing it, do it. If you've been stumbling over it in the past from all the trainings we've had before, make sure you're practicing it, right? You know, the last thing you guys want to do is practice on your clients because that costs how much money? Your practice. What is one commission worth? How much? How many thousands of dollars?
Couple grand.
Or more, right? Could be 5,000, could be 6,000, could be 7,000, could be 4,000, doesn't matter. That's a very expensive education, isn't it? So that's why we're doing so much of this role playing, dialoguing. We're really wanting you guys to internalize this stuff. So, you know, it becomes like you can teach it, right? You can recite it while you're sleeping. Like it's just becomes second nature. Okay. So here's a stat I want to share with you. 16 touches within a 2 to 4 week span to engage a customer. That's what it takes. Zillow really knows their stats. And this is across the board for any kind of, especially internet lead generation, right? And lead follow-up. So their stats are probably pretty tested, I would say. 16 touches within a 2 to 4 week span to engage a customer. So ask yourself, and don't lie to yourself, as I taught yesterday, how many touches are you hitting on your leads within a 2 to 4 week span time? Are you doing it? Are you dropping the ball after the first one? Which leads me to the next stat. 44% of salespeople give up after one follow-up attempt. I know we have that disease on our team too. It is a disease. It's rampant. Be the other percentage on the other side of that actually does follow up, you guys. It will change your financial world. It'll take away any issues that you have because you will have the money you need to get out of debt, to achieve your goals, to whatever that is for you, just by making more contacts. So guys, why do you think that the majority of agents don't follow up after the first attempt? Can you guys give me some insight on mentally what might be going on? What do you think it is? Let's have some collaboration.
We want to move on to the next person.
Okay, what else?
They hear a no and give up.
They hear a no and give up? Okay. What else? What if you didn't reach them and you just moved on? What's the reason then? Almost half of all agents do this. So somebody on this call must be doing it.
Laziness.
Oh, maybe. I'm not going to say that everybody's lazy, but yeah, that could be one ingredient.
Making assumptions as well, just assuming that, oh, they're not interested. They didn't get back to me. I left a message. Oh. How come they didn't get back to me? Oh, they must not be interested, you know, not that they're too busy or they're at work or whatever. Yeah.
Let me tell you about a recruit call I made yesterday. I've got some limiting beliefs around some of these agents that are coming in from Pro Broker, Gary, just as an example.
Yeah.
I mean, I have this disease too, you guys. So I'm not perfect, right? So this call came, I was supposed to do a call yesterday at a certain time, which they set me up the appointments, right? So I'm driving, I'm in my car, but in my mind, I'm saying they're probably not going to come to the call. Something's going to happen. Like, because more say no to me or don't show up to the call than actually do show up to the call. Okay. So I'm already putting it out there in the universe that it's not going to go anywhere. I call, she picks up, hangs up the phone, doesn't even say hello. Gone. Should I call back? Tell me. Should I call her back? Right
Yes.
after she hung up on me.
Yes.
But my limiting belief about what was already going to happen caused me to just move on with my day. I should have dialed and said, hey, I think we got disconnected right out the gate. But I didn't, because my mind said, she already doesn't want to talk to you, Tina, before I ever dialed the phone. And then, of course, it happened. And I went, my subconscious mind said, see, told you, right? I'm lying to myself. You're lying to yourself. 44% of the sales force is lying to themselves. You have to touch them. 16 touches within 2 to 4 weeks span will engage a customer. Right? If they tell you to go pound sand, oh well, right? So, but this is where we need to change this. This is a disease that's been happening in the sales force of agents for years. And it's all about our own mindset about it, right? We're assuming, we're already setting ourselves up for failure. We may be nervous because we don't know what to say. We may feel like, oh, I don't want to bother them. We may be lazy. I think Nicholas said that. We might be lazy, right? But I would say that it's more of a limiting belief within yourself about the quality of the call, your ability to convert, all those things. So how do we fix that, guys? How do you fix it? Do you move through the fear of your own and your own limiting beliefs and do it anyway? That's one way to do it. Just do it. Don't attach yourself to any kind of outcome of what you assume is going to happen. Speaking to myself right now, right? Make sure you're doing that. Let's talk about that a little bit more. Anybody want to share some of their experiences that will help others on how you burst through and were able to follow up and continue following up, even if somebody wasn't answering on the other end?
I have one, Tina. It's it wasn't a phone call, and it was part of that. If you remember that when I showed you that one slide where it was that one call turned out to be like 8 different transactions. Do you remember that a while back?
Yeah, you want to share that really quick with everybody?
I can.
Yeah, just real quick. Just a quick summary of what happened would be great.
Okay, so sure. So a few years back, and some of you guys have probably already heard this, but a few years back, I was calling expireds, and one of them was a manufactured home. So for onboarding, I put together this slide because I know a lot of times we get on manufactured homes, and I often hear people say like, they're dismissive about them. So this one particular one, I got the listing, and it was 8 transactions that came out of this one phone call, not all from me, but quite a few. So for example, the broker ended up representing the buyer. My broker represented the buyer for this deal. And then there was a couple that came and looked at the home and decided it wasn't for them. They wanted to buy an actual home, a house. So I represented them on that. The owner of the company I used to be with, she did loans. So she did the loan on that. So that's what, 1, 2, there's 3 right there. I represented the buyers for that couple. It was the boyfriend owned a condo that I ended up listing. It was a short sale listed in Oceanside, and listed that, and I brought a buyer. So there's 6 deals in that condo complex. I was door knocking, and I knocked on the door, and they opened up the door, and I started to tell them who I was and everything, and they started shutting the door on me. And I happened to mention about, first time home buyer program. So they kind of opened it up. Well, give me your card. And then we got to go though. And they shut the door. So I just, they're never going to call me, whatever. About a month later, they called, and then they asked some more questions. And then they said, well, my girlfriend's pregnant right now. We'll contact you like after we have the baby. I'm like, okay. No, they won't. They contacted me after they had the baby, showed them a bunch of homes, found a home, wrote it up. And then 2 years later, they broke up, and I listed that home. So that was the 8 deals. But that what I'm getting at is the door knocking one where I had that limiting belief that, well, they're shutting the door on me. They're not going to really call. They're not going to call me. They never call when I give them my car. It's just
Well,
whatever,
Gary, Gary, I think you were lucky there because you didn't do any follow-up. You were
I
very
didn't.
lucky.
Yeah, I was. And I would think of when I would have done, I think of other ones where I did make phone calls and I for sure didn't follow up. I know
So,
that I'm terrible
Gary,
at the follow-up
would
process.
you say that you were mentally attached to the outcome, be it negative or positive?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is the number one killer, guys.
Yeah.
We're all attached to some kind of an outcome, or we slip into a desperation mode, right? Some of us are hungry. Some of us need to pay the mortgage. Some of us don't have the money to do that right now. The market has slowed down. You have to act as, who is this?
Sorry, that was Shri. I thought you were done. I was going to say something really quick.
Yeah, go ahead. I can keep talking all day long. I'm
No.
on caffeine right now.
Awesome. I'm not, but still, I love to talk. So, what I wanted to say was our team really sets us up for success with our CRM, our follow-up boss, you guys. And here's one thing I want to say. At our barbecue last week, I was talking to an agent that recently joined our team. She's not on this call. And a seasoned agent who told me, I couldn't believe this, Tina, I about died. Doesn't have a CRM, has never used a CRM. And I told her, do you know how much business you left on the table by not, because I was that agent at one time in my life, and having the database, the follow-up boss is, guys, you can set a task to call that person again. And Siri has stuff, automatic drips going and everything else. But that's the thing. You've got to open up your follow-up boss every day. You're not going to know what's being triggered for you to do if you don't get in there. You got to open your follow-up boss every single day, and your calls are all outlined there for you. And then if you want additional stuff, just set tasks.
Yep. Just follow the steps, guys. It doesn't take that long. And then after you're done, go have a great day. Go to the beach, go do whatever you want to do, but get this stuff done. And it's going to cause you to stay in touch more. It's going to cause you to do those 10 to 16 to 20 touches if you continue to just follow the plan. But what's happening is we're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not.
And
doing
I
it.
set up like a reward for myself, Tina. I say, okay, like I'm not going to get on social media. I'm not going to even look at Instagram until I've made my calls today. Or I'm going to don't tell yourself, I don't get to go to the beach until I've done A, B, and C. Like,
that's right.
And treat it like a reward.
Yep.
That you're giving yourself for doing your job, your work.
So then it backs up one step further to, what does your schedule look like? Are you looking at your schedule the night before and setting yourself up for success the next day to make sure that you're really hyper-focused? On the Motivation Monday, I talked about me just thinking that I was eating good and thinking that I was this, right? Well, literally I wasn't, right? So now I'm tracking again, which is painful, but I'm tracking my calories every day. And I've been very consistent since Friday on my tracking. And things are starting to change a little bit already. Like I'm starting to see little energy pops and things that I didn't have before. So guys, the follow-up boss is there to track with you and for you. You have to do the activity though. You have to be the one doing the activity to get this thing to go. Newer agents on this call, do not set yourself up for failure. Build the skills now. Don't be part of the 44%, period. You old timers, get off your ass and let's get this done. Like seriously, it's time to work. Okay. So let me go to the next stat. I beat that one up enough. 6 phone call attempts get you the conversion 95% of the time. Wow. 6 phone calls. How much time does that take when you're actually following up and doing phone calls? Maybe
Like only a few seconds.
few seconds. So how much time do you have in place to get an appointment possibly after 6 calls? Let's say each call is 3 minutes, 2 minutes. I don't even know, right? 2 to 5 minutes long. And then how much commission is on the line when you convert them? 2,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. I mean, is that a good use of your time?
Yeah.
Your brain's not allowing you to do it. So stop lying to yourselves and just do it. Like get on, like Cherie said, and follow the steps. This team has been set up and designed for you to follow the steps to success. Okay. All right, guys. And I know you all have it in you and you're helping me too by me teaching this. So just know that there's things that I need help with. Obviously we all do. So it's not like I'm beating up on you. I'm just really bringing reality to everybody's face, right? That's what a coach does. We hold up a mirror and we say, get over yourself. It's time to do this, right? And here's how you do it. So let's go on to that part. So you guys are familiar with the ALMS script, those of you that are on the Zillow team. There are a couple slides in here that I'm gonna go off of this, but this is like the introduction when it's a Zillow call. But I would like for you guys to kind of look at the bottom here for any other, like when you're introducing yourself to someone, right? So maybe you do get an ABC call, ABC live transfer or something. So you want to make sure that you're like right on top of it. And so it's just kind of setting you up that way. Hi, this is Tina. You don't have to say Zillow Premier Agent if you're not with Zillow, and you don't even have to really say it when you're with Zillow, but this is how they subscribe it to you. Okay. Hey, this is Tina with the Brand Realty. I see you're interested in 123 Banana Street today. Would you like to see the property today or tomorrow? I guess that's Zillow, because they already have a pre-appointment set up that they're working on with showing time. So just get to the point with people, right? If you see at the top here, you'll see, hi, this is Audrey, the Zillow Premier Agent with the Brand Realty. How are you doing, Susie? I don't like that. I mean, it's good to build that rapport, guys, but first get to the point and then really just start to really reel in and talk to them about other things at that point. But they want to know about that house, right? Not this him and haw thing. Well, how are you today? The weather's great, right? You're stalling, right? You want to get to the point. Anybody have any feedback for me on that? Agree, disagree?
I don't know, because sometimes I feel like when I'm, have a little chitty chat in the beginning, it helps people get comfortable with me, but I don't know. I'm still a new agent. So
Stop saying you're new. Turn off that sign. It's a neon sign that says I'm new. Turn it off. Don't ever say you're new again.
I
You
just
don't
broke
have-
it. Done. It's
Thank
crushed.
you. Yeah, throw that sign out the window.
It's gone. It's gone.
Good.
Yesterday.
No more. Okay, so that's an excuse. You're new. No, it's not. So yeah, it may be something that works for you, but I have found that people want to get to the point of things. Now, if it's somebody that you've talked to before and you're just following up and you finally get, you get them on the phone and maybe you talked to them a few weeks ago, obviously it's, hey, how's your day going? You know them a little bit already, right? So that's just my take. You guys do whatever you want, but there's a couple opportunities for you there. And then here's the ALM. And what it means is appointment. When would you like to see it? Location. What other properties would you like to see? Right? And motivation. What interested you in this, in these properties? So why would we want to ask for the appointment up front? In some cases.
We want to lock it in.
And that's what they're looking for, right? That's what they want, right? And why would we want to ask them if they have other properties they would want to see?
Because if that one's not available, you can send something that's similar.
That and what else? What other properties would you like to see?
If that one's not available, you have an opportunity to still keep the appointment and show them another home.
That and what else?
Maybe they don't like that home. It's too small. The kitchen's too small or something. So you want to find them something else to see.
Yep. And
They
what
also
else?
could be lined up with another agent to
Boom!
other properties. Bam, that's what you want to make sure. You're locking that is saying, no. I can show you this one and all those while we're out, all in one big swoop. Am I right,
Exactly,
Tina?
guys. Yeah, they're on more than one website. They've reached out to more than one agent. Usually they're not just coming to you. And you want to gather all of those chips, right? You want that opportunity to say, hey, I got you. I got it handled. Literally, I've had buyers say to me, hey, I already have 123 Maple Street scheduled with a lot of times with a Redfin agent, right? Because they can go right online and schedule, and they have their little showing agents that go out and show the property. And I say, oh, they're a salary paid showing agent. They don't know a whole lot about that property. I know more about that property. Let me just let me add it to your mix here and just cancel them. It's not just cancel them. I can't just, yeah, you can. People do it all the time. Just cancel them. And I got you, right? Has anybody done anything like that? Just Tina? That's it?
Oh yeah,
Who said, oh yeah?
Paige.
Yeah, you've done that, Paige? Yeah, because you're built like me. You just get to the point with them, take over. Good. All right, guys. Well, that's how you sell more houses, right? You don't eggshell dance around. You take control. You don't get pushy. You take control and you lead people. And you make sure that you are there to serve them, right? At the deepest level. So that means, hey, I got you, right? Whatever it is you want to see, whatever it is you want to do, I got you, right? And motivation, what interested you in you about these properties? Why would we want to talk about that when we're already kind of in the middle of setting the appointment and we're going to run out the door? Because some of you, by the way, set the appointment really quick, don't have any kind of rapport building, don't have any kind of other, hey, what other homes you want to see? And you go out and you show that one house. There's no trust building happening. There's no connection happening. There's none of that happening on that call. So all of this is geared around building a little bit of rapport, showing them how you're going to serve them, obviously taking care of the appointment part for what they really wanted to do. And then the motivation is two-way street. You're finding out what their true motivation is just by small talking and what other properties they're interested in. And there's some scripts and I'm going to take you through it, but you're also asking them about, hey, what do you guys, where are you moving from? You know, those kind of things, just kind of like a little bantering back and forth on that. So you can get a gauge on, they might tell you they have an agent. They might tell you that, you know, they need to be in a house by tomorrow. They might tell you that they're not going to buy for 6 months. There's a lot of things you can find out by asking questions, right? So by opening it up with what interested you about these properties, then they'll tell you, well, you know, we really need to get out of this studio apartment. There's 7 of us living here. My mother-in-law, blah, 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 right? Like whatever they say, right? So there's a pain point. You're going to get a pain point. And now you're going to be their savior and you're going to help them with that pain point. Anybody else want to tap in about motivation and how it's worked for you and talking, what do you think needs also to be said in the scripting? We're going to go there, but is there anything else you guys would like to share?
I just have a question for you. So I do a lot of Ojo, and when they live transfer Ojos, basically the person on the other line or like the ISA is sitting there and they've spoken with the person already and they've gotten, you know, their details, what they want and how many bedrooms, bathrooms, location, all of this stuff. And when they live transfer you, all they say is, hey, Nick, we have Tina on the other line. She's interested in 123 Main Street and she wants to see the home tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, cool. They transfer me over and I say, hey, Tina, I saw that you looked at 123 Main Street and I'd love to schedule that for you. What else, like what other homes are you interested in? And I try to get that information, but then they get frustrated because they're like, I just explained this for the past 10 minutes to the other lady on the other line. And so I'm, you know.
Question real quick, just so I know, because I'm not on the lead source. So do they send you the details when they transfer the call?
They very basic. It's like, do they have financing? When they want to move, but they have no sort of like criteria for search or anything like that.
So they haven't asked, they did ask them that, or they didn't ask them that?
Yeah, the ISAs ask them these questions.
But you're not getting the answers.
But I'm not getting the answers. So then when I ask them, they say, I already explained this for the last 20 minutes to the last person. Why am I explaining it to you? And I say, the only thing I've had for them is, I'm a local in the area, you know, you might have not been talking to someone that was local there. I've been working in this area, yada, yada, yada. They just connected you with me that it's someone local.
Oh, wow.
I have a question. Because I've never used Ojo and I don't know how this works, but when they live transfer you, is it right away the ISA and the client, or is it just the ISA guy and then they transfer you to the client?
It's just the ISA and then they live transfer you over to the client. So you could ask them the questions like that, but they're trying to get you over to that person ASAP because they don't want to leave them waiting for them to hang up on the other line.
You could just say like, hey, really quick in 15 seconds, give me like quick, like area, beds, bath, price, go.
Yeah.
So I would be, okay, so if you know this is happening, number one, we probably need to reach out and say there's a little bit of a disconnect, that we need that information sent over. So that's a note that I'm taking on the side. But in the meantime, what I would probably do is be like, hey, Nicholas, so nice to meet you. This is Tina, your local rep, or whatever you guys are saying. I don't even know what you're saying on those calls. Probably the same as Zillow, I would imagine, with the brand Realty. I'm here to help you with 123 Main Street. I know that you had a conversation with I don't know if do they have a name? Do they say their name? Like the
yes,
name?
They do say their name.
Okay, so I know you had a conversation with Joe, and I'll be getting that information sent to me. I just wanted to kind of check in with you to see what other properties you might be interested in, maybe that you've looked at online, so I can get those appointments lined up for you as well. And you know, I might ask you some questions that they already asked, so please excuse me. I just kind of want to get that get the information gathered really quick here before the information comes from them to me. So if you could just tell me just a brief on, you know, where you're at, what you're looking for. And again, you don't have to go into too much detail because I will get that information. By the way, do you get the information, guys, eventually or not? Never. I'm a little lost on Ojo because I don't do Ojo. So does the information ever come to you? How do you know that the ISA is asking those questions besides the client? And I just explained it for 20 minutes.
No, that's the only way that it's happened to me multiple times, so that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
Something
But I would set them
know.
up though. And all you can do right now is just say, hey, I'm going to be getting more information, but can you just give me a quick summary? And then we'll move on. Just kind of move it out of the way. Don't make it another stumbling block and piss people off, right? Just kind of like,
yeah,
quick summary. I'm really interested in getting you in this property today at 2. I will be checking with the seller to make sure that the time works for them. What other alternate times do you have just in case that doesn't work? And let me ask you, are you looking at some other homes online that I can help you with today? And we just add it to the tour. Same as the Zillow stuff. And you know what, even if you can't, if you feel like there's some sticky points, just kind of back off and then talk to them when you get to the showing, right? If they feel like they're fatigued already from coming over from talking to Ojo, that's something that Ojo needs to fix. But in the meantime, maybe you don't even go to what interested you in the properties. Just kind of get the appointment set, find out what else they might be looking at, ask them if you can send them some other properties and just say, hey, refresh me really quick. The information's coming over soon, but just to get your search and get you a couple more properties, is it 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Vista, you know, whatever. Just kind of make it like it's light, a little more light on them. I think that's what I would do. And I just kind of just came up with that just now, but we definitely need to, if there is a full-on questionnaire happening with Ojo, we need to have that information.
Yeah, exactly. Like if they can just add that tiny bit of information, it makes it so much easier for me. And so, you know, if that is something that could happen, you know, because I feel like most of these ISAs are asking these questions, just we're not getting
it, or you know they are.
I feel like it because every single person, every single Ojo I get connected to, which is almost like one a day at this point, all of them have been, you know, every time I ask them about, you know, location or that sort of stuff, they kind of get thrown back because they're like, well, I just explained it to this person. Why are you needing it again? And that's happened 5 or 6 times now.
Okay.
So it's just, you know, it's something I run into.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. And again, just dance with the client. Don't try to force them to tell you again. Really try not to create a conflict. Really work with them to dance with them and just get what you need to get in front of them, right? That's the goal.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do right now until we figure this out. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
All right, guys. I'm in the script now. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. How many of you have this absolutely memorized, like the back of your hand? If you have your back of your hand memorized, that is. Anybody? Cherie, you got this thing nailed?
No, I'm just kidding.
You
If I
can
say
lie
yes, I
and
know
say
you're going
no.
to call on me.
What was that?
I said, if I say yes, I know you're going to call on me.
Ah, that's okay. You have a bad connection, Cherie. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Who is only seeing this now for the first time?
Me,
Who was that little mouse?
Miranda, the non-new.
I'm sure that it's in the onboarding scripting. However, I know we do practice this on scripts and dialogues, right, Annabelle? Right. Okay. So basically, here's this is the dialogue, and then when I go down below here, it's how it's all spelled out. So I'm gonna chunk it down for you here. Okay. Appointment, location, motivation. You don't have to talk about a survey if you're not doing Zillow, so you can drop the other S. Okay. So I understand that you're interested in 123 Main Street. That's a great home. When would you like to see that home? See the home today? Question mark, right? Or they might already have a time, right? So it depends on which lead source, what you're doing. It's not necessarily Zillow. So you'll have to dance and shape it a little bit to whatever, if it's an outbound call or an inbound call, you just have to really kind of shape it, right? So maybe it's somebody that's on Follow Up Boss and they've looked at a home 15 times. And you see that because it's you're getting notified that somebody's looking at a home 15 times. Those are really good signals for you guys to be paying attention to. get into your follow-up boss, call that client or text them that listing and say, hey, I found a house over here on 123 Main Street that I think you guys might really like, even if you've never talked to these people. Send it to them because they're online. You don't want to say, hey, I saw that you were looking online at 15 times at a home. You don't want them to feel like big brother's watching them do their searches. It kind of freaks people out. Would you guys agree? So I would use that and I would call them and then I would call and say, hey, I just sent you a property on 123 Main Street. This is Tina with the brand Realty. You are on my search site and I know that, or maybe we've talked before. I don't know how, whatever the situation is. And I would love to show you that property. I have some time in my schedule coming up, either, tomorrow or even this weekend. Would you like to go see the property? Yes, no, whatever. Hit them while they're hot, guys. So that might be your dialogue that you do. Okay. So, Elle, while I have you on the phone, okay, maybe you reached them and you saw that they looked at one property 15 times. But while I have you on the phone, are there other properties that you guys are considering that you really like? I sent you this one, but are there other ones that you guys are looking at and you would like to add to the tour? So it works any type of lead situation we're working on in follow-up boss, incoming call, ABC, whatever. It works for all of it. Okay. And then may I ask you, what in particular did you like about these properties? I don't use the word particular. That's not too much in my vocabulary, but I'll say, hey, let me ask you, what do you like? What did you see in these properties that you really liked? Well, we really like the large backyard, right? Oh, let me ask you what's important to you about a large backyard, right? So these aren't in the scripts, but you want to keep digging, just getting more rapport, understanding clarity on what they're looking for. And just so I'm moving at your pace, do you have a definitive date that you would like to be in your home? When do you guys see yourself in that home? When do you want to be in? So now you kind of you're setting that motivation, right? You're finding out what their timeline is. Okay. Then perfect. So here's what I'm going to do for you right after this call. So now you're summarizing. You guys always want to do this on every call that you do. If you promise something, you want to go back through and you want to summarize everything. Here's what I'm going to do for you. Right after this call, I'm going to send a text with all my contact information so you know how to reach me should any additional questions come up. Make sure that you actually do that. I'll also confirm with the seller about our showing for today at 3, and we'll get back to you in about 20 minutes. Is that okay with you? Great. I say something like, hey, does that sound like a plan? Right? And they'll be like, yes. I'll also do some homework and shoot over a few additional listings that fit your criteria. Again, pretending that it's somebody that looked at a home 15 times, you sent it to them, you're able to get them on the phone, and they say, yeah, sure, I'd love to see that house, right? And now you're asking them if there are other homes that they'd like to see. And if there are, then you make sure that you repeat that you're adding those to the tour and that you're going to meet at such and such time, such and such place as soon as you confirm, and you get back with them. If you say you're going to get back with them in 20 minutes, guys, if you don't have the answer yet, at least text them and say, I have not forgotten about you. I will be back in touch as soon as I hear from the seller. Because they're thinking 20 minutes, right? So if you say 20 minutes and it's at 20 minutes and you don't have an answer yet, make sure you text them and let them know, hey, it's going to be a little bit longer. I'm still working on this. Hang in there. I didn't forget about you. How's that sound? Right? So memorize, internalize, customize. You may not use it word by word, but let's get the flow down. Okay. So back to the actual dialogue here of an example. Let's do a quick practice. I don't know how to do the breakout room, so we're just going to, until I learn that, we're going to just call out a couple people like I do in the script practicing and let you guys flow through this. Forget about the survey part. Unless you are on the Zillow team, I would love for you to do the Zillow part. So I know, Javon, you're on the Zillow team. I think Christian, if you're still on the call, you're on the Zillow team. Christian Bouvion, I don't know if you're still here or not, or if you ever came, unless it was a dream. He's my man. So, because he looks like me. Anyway, I look like him. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go with, you guys want to volunteer or do you want me to call somebody out? I don't want you throwing any wild objections. All right. I want you to just flow with it. You've got to get your wits about you first with the script before you start getting like completely send off in left field. You don't get a lot of objections necessarily when somebody wants to see a home. Does that make sense? You literally don't, right? Or they might say, I already have an agent, but they're out of town and I need you to show me this house. So what do you do then? Do you show them the house?
Yeah, I still show 'em.
Yeah, you want to get in front of them, don't you?
Yeah.
Right? You know, and then if you don't want to go show it, you're attached to the outcome. So you want to go there with the intention of, hey, I'm going to show value. I'm going to show up. I'm going to serve them, and I'm going to stay in touch with them. And I'm going to make sure that their agent drops the ball at some point, and I'm going to be there when there's a crack in that whole relationship, and I'm going to be there for them. I personally have converted many people that way, guys. When you're in opportunity's way, opportunity will hit you in the face. So you got to get into opportunity's way, and that's one way to do it. And if it never turns out to be anything, remember, you are not attached to the outcome, so it doesn't matter anyway. You're just doing your job, right? All right, so let's do this. Anybody want to volunteer?
I'll do one, Tina.
You're awesome, Jovan. So do you want to be the agent, my friend?
Sure.
Okay, let's have you and Joseph, you be the buyer. Pretty easy job. So just follow the script down. And Jovan happens to be a Zillow agent. So he's probably going to say, this is Jovan, your Zillow Premier agent, which is great if he wants to do that, so he can practice his script. So let's do it. Hey,
Hi,
Jovan. Hi, transferring you now. Joseph is on the line. There you go.
Hi, this is Jovan, your Zillow Premier agent with the brand Realty. How are you doing, John?
I'm good, Jovan. How are you today?
Great, great. So I see that you're interested in 123 Main Street. When would you like to go see it?
Well, I do have a doctor's appointment, but I think I'd like to see it either this afternoon or maybe tomorrow.
Perfect. I'll go ahead and get that scheduled for you. Really quickly, what was special to you about this home?
I really just like the size of it, honestly. I have a growing family, so it's important for me to have a nice yard and enough bedrooms.
Okay, have you seen any other properties online that you'd like to see or you're interested in?
I don't really have too many that have stood out so far, but I'm just starting to look.
Okay. What I can do is I can send you a few more listings that you can check out while I schedule your showing. This way, if you're available, we can make the most of our time and see a few more properties, give you some options.
That sounds great.
Perfect.
Sorry, I lost track of where we are in the script right now.
That's okay. He just flipped something. That's all. He went with, he just flipped it a little bit. So he asked what you're looking for in a property before he asked if there are other homes that you wanted to take a look at. So, I mean, it still flows, right? It's still a conversation, but I understand you're trying to follow the script. So, all right. So where were you, Jovan? So great. I'll add those to the tour, or I'll send you some other properties. I would probably go where, let's see, where were we? So I'd probably go somewhere in the effect of, let me ask you, and the other thing, Jovan, I want to remind you guys of too, is make sure that you're putting a little bit of oomph into it. Is what I mean by that is, hey, we need to get a bigger yard for my dogs or my family. Oh, awesome. You have dogs? I do too. Or something where you're like building a little more rapport, and it's not so much just like a questionnaire you're going down. So make it more of a conversation.
A little more personal?
Little more personal. Yeah, let's get a little more. Christian ISA's on the call, and he does very good with that. He's very good about just really being chill on the phone with people and just going, and he pauses a lot, which I think is great. It's like dead air scares me, right? But and when I listen to Christian's calls, the ISA Christian who's on the call, when I listen to his call, sometimes I'm like, say something. But I think it's cool because it gives a little bit time for everybody to just kind of, just wrap their head around what was just said, and nobody's just like trying to jump on top of them for business, and they feel comfortable. And the other thing you guys want to do is mirror and match. So Jovan, if Joseph is talking fast, you want to talk fast. If Joseph is talking slow, you want to talk slow. If he's very like to the point, like really dry, you stay a little more to the point. Don't go more wooey on him, right? If he's like, man, we really need that large backyard, our dogs, and da-da-da-da, right? You can go, man, I understand. I'm living in an apartment right now with a Great Dane, whatever, right? So you can empathize with people and get it more humanized, right? So let's try it one more time, Jovan. Let's start at the top, and Joseph, stay on as the buyer. Let's try to flow through it and get to the bottom here, okay?
Okay.
Alex here, transferring you to a Zillow Premier agent. This is Joseph on the line.
Hi, this is Jovan with your Zillow Premier agent with the brand Realty. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. I see that you're interested in 123 Main Street. When are you available to see it?
Well, I'd like to see the home either, I was thinking this afternoon or maybe tomorrow.
Okay. What was special to you about this home?
I really like the floor plans, the fact that they were, turnkey, and I like the lot size a lot. I'm looking for really those are my two important things.
Really? Do you have a lot of, you need a lot of space?
Okay, let's stop. Jovan, you tend to want to jump from the third highlighted down all the way down to like, I think you're not even going through the process. Hey, perfect. Let's plan on that. I'm going to double check with the seller and get right back to you to confirm.
Yeah, I'm missing that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're missing it completely. So that's why you're getting tripped up. So I would try to go back to that and say, it might be just the way you learned it at one point. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly how I learned it before. It's
Yeah.
like stuck in my mind.
Yeah. So it's more like, hey, this is Tina, your Zillow Premier agent with the brand Realty. I understand you're interested on 123 Main Street. That's a great home. When would you like to go see it? Oh, I'd like to see it today or this afternoon. Perfect. Let's plan on that. I'm going to double check with the seller and get right back with you to confirm. Hey, while I have you on the phone, Joseph, were there any other properties that you've seen online that you would like to go check out today? We can just add those to your tour. Yeah,
Sure.
There's one on Carnation. Fantastic. Great. We're going to add those to the tour. May I ask in particular what you liked about these properties? And then Joseph is going to say, well, I really like the floor plans. In fact, they were turnkey in a lot size. I'm looking into Newport Beach area or whatever, San Diego area. Great. We can definitely find you homes that meet your criteria. And so just so I'm moving at your pace, do you have a definitive date or when do you see yourself in a home? That's what I would say. I don't say definitive ever. Do you see yourself in a home, in a home buy, or are you a little more flexible on your time? So now you're gauging what their motivation is, right? That's the motivation part. I'm interested in being in a home in 3 months. Oh, wow, great. 3 months. Or, hey, I just started looking and we want to be in our new home in 6 months. Oh, awesome. No matter what they say, guys, that's awesome. Great. I work in your timeline. A lot of people think that they don't want to bother you if they're 6 months out. Have you heard that? You guys ever? I have. Hey, you know what? We're 6 months out. I don't want to bother you. We're so far out. Well, great. I understand. 6 months is, I work in your timeline. And what I found is most of my clients are 6 months to a year out. And it's never, right now is a great time for us to get together, look at a couple of properties in the market and get to know each other. And then I can talk to you about the home buying process. That way, when that 6 months time comes up, we will knock it out of the park. We're going to be all set and successful, ready to go. So you can go there, right? So it's conversation outside of the script, but there's just things that you want to do to keep concreting that relationship. So let's go ahead and do it again, Jovan. Try to stick with the script. Can you actually see it on the screen?
Yeah, I just pulled it up. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so you were doing it just from your memory.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. So we don't want to trip up. So let's try it again. Joseph, would you be so kind as to be that buyer again?
Yes, I will.
Awesome. Alex here. Sorry, I forgot my part. Transferring you to a Zillow Premier agent now. This is Joseph.
Hi, this is Jovan with your Zillow Premier agent with the brand Realty. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. And you?
Good, doing great. I see that you're interested in 123 Main Street. That's a beautiful property. When would you like to go see it?
Well, I was thinking I could either see it this afternoon or maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Which time would be more convenient for you?
Honestly, I'm thinking probably this afternoon. Does that work?
Perfect. Let's plan on it. I'm going to double check with the seller and get back to you in about 20 minutes just to confirm our appointment. But while I have you on the phone, were there any other properties you've seen online you'd like to check out? I'd love to make the most of our time.
Yeah, I actually have them written down. I have 2 properties. One is on Anita and the other is Carnation. You think that would be possible?
Absolutely. We can definitely get in there and check out those properties.
And
yeah,
then
that'd be great.
May I ask what in particular you liked about these properties?
May I ask in particular what was special about these other properties?
That's a good question. I think I liked the floor plans and the fact that they were turnkey and the lot size. I'm just really looking for something that has a good amount of size and in the San Diego area.
Really? Nice, nice. So do you have a clear path on when you'd like to be in your new home?
Well, I did just start looking, but ideally I would be in the new home in about 6 months or so.
About 6 months?
Yeah, I would say so.
Nice. Perfect. Here's what I'm going to do right after this call. I'm going to send you a text message with my contact information. So if any other questions come up or if you want to see any other homes, just shoot me a call and you know how to get a hold of me. I'll also confirm with the seller for our showings and get back to you in about 20 minutes to let you know we're all good.
All right, that sounds great.
Great.
And then, yeah,
The survey,
yeah, do it. Yeah.
Great. Just so you know, in about 24 hours, Zillow will be sending you a survey asking about the type of service that you received. If you thought it was great and we have a good call, please shoot us 4 stars.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. You've been great, Jovan.
All right, we'll be in touch in a little while. Look out for my text with my information and we will talk soon.
All right, sounds great. Thanks so much.
And that, you guys, is how you practice. Okay, good job. Now, for this class, we're not going to have everybody do this unless you want to raise your hand right now and want to take a stab at it. Otherwise, we're going to go on to a little bit more training and then we'll be done with the class.
I'd be curious to try it out.
Who is this, Miranda?
Mhm.
Okay. And Miranda, since you're not a Zillow agent, I don't want you to say, hi, this is Miranda, your Zillow Premier agent. Just say, hi, this is Miranda with the brand Realty. And then don't do the survey part. Okay.
Okay, I can do that.
All right. So Annabelle, you want to be her buyer?
Sure.
I just want to point out that every time Annabelle I love Annabelle because she is outside working. She's got probably a cup of coffee or tea and she's living the dream. She's outside and she's getting some nature. She's making her day work for her. So I love it. Good stuff. Yeah. Okay, cool. So Annabelle, you are the buyer. You guys try to stick with the script as much as possible. Obviously, we're going to get more creative as time goes on, but you guys have to digest this first. Okay.
Okay. Are you going to transfer me over or are we going to
Miranda, you're reaching out through
Club?
Yeah. They looked at a property 15 times, right? And you're going to say, and you text them the property, right? And you said, hey, I think I found a property you like, and now you're doing a follow-up call.
Okay. Ring, ring, ring.
Okay, good.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Miranda with the Brand Realty team. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for asking. I understand that we were looking at the property 123 Main Street. That's a really great home. When would you like to visit it? Or when would you like to go see that home? Wait, sorry, hold on. When would you like to see the home today?
I have some time either this afternoon or tomorrow.
Okay, great. Yeah, tomorrow works great for me. Let's do that one. Let's plan on it. I'm going to double check with the seller and get right back to you to confirm. But while I have you on the phone, were there any other properties that you saw online that you'd like to check out? I'd love to make the most out of your time. So what do you think?
Yeah. So there's 2 more. There's one that I saw on Anita and one on Carnation, if possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those are definitely possible. Great. We'll add those to your home tour. May I particularly ask you what you liked about those properties?
Yeah, I really like the floor plan, the fact that they were turnkey properties and the lot size, and looking in the Newport Beach area.
Oh yeah, I personally really like the Newport area. I can definitely find you some more homes that meet that criteria. And just so I'm moving at your pace, do you have a definite date you need to be in a home by, or are you a little more flexible?
Just started looking, and we want to be we want to be in our new home in about 6 months.
Oh, perfect. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do for you. So right after this call, I'm gonna send you a text with all of my contact information so you know how to reach me should any additional questions come up. I'll also confirm with the seller about our showing for today at 3 p.m. and we'll get back to you in about 20 minutes. If it's okay with you, I'll also do some homework and shoot over a few additional properties that fit your criteria that are in the Newport Beach area. How does that sound?
It sounds good.
Great. Okay. Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay,
No.
good. Again, memorize it, right?
I have my last sentence. Perfect. Thank you so much. Again,
Oh.
my name is Miranda, and I'll be in touch with you shortly.
Yeah, thank you. It was good. I missed that one. Yeah. Yeah, good job. And I like you always want to end with, hey, does that sound like a plan? How's that sound? Are you good with this plan? You know, you always want to concrete it. What?
Are they called the tiebreakers or something, or tie downs? Oh, tie downs.
Tie downs, yeah. And you know what? I saw on Workplace, guys, somebody's going to be teaching NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming class on Workspace. I saw it go by me on the feed. And I really think this would be very powerful for all of you to learn more NLP stuff. It's the tie downs. It's when you use it's when you concrete something like a command, right? Like, when would you like to see it? It's a downswing or an upswing, right? So it teaches you all of that where it's, you know, it's not just the words, right? That you're speaking. It's the tone and how you're using your words that really help to move the needle on leading people to where they need to go. Okay. So great class to take. Great class. I think the ISA is actually, Christian, you're on here, it would be very powerful for you guys as well. All of us, it'd be really great. I took it many, many, many years ago, and you know, over time you get your old habits back sometimes if you're not using it enough. So it's downswings, upswings, concreting, those kind of the tie downs, right? Also level shifting, they teach you that too, right? So a level shift is one of the scripts that I use with you guys, even though I call it pivot, is when somebody raises their objection, hey, the interest rates are too high, right? I hear you, I got you. What got you looking at homes to begin with? Did you see that that was a level shift, guys? I didn't stick on the high interest rate conversation. I level shifted them back to their why. So that's called a level shift or a pivot, okay? So that's all skill stuff. Okay, so now I'm gonna jump off of this and I'm gonna go back to the slides again really quick. And I just wanna go over a couple more things. Hold on a second. Okay, let's see. So this is the bookends here. You guys already did the appointment stuff here. Let me go on to the next slide. So diversifying your approach when you're reaching out to clients for nurturing, right? Like the pond or Zillow nurtures or whatever it is, your database of people. So these are just some tips for you guys to reach out to clients at different times across different ways. Texting, emailing, calling, those kind of things, right? All different ways. Always come from a place of providing value by sharing any updates, maybe some events that we're having coming up, or, you know, some kind of market update you want to offer them. Always come from a place of value. What you never want to say is, how's your home search going for you? You got to come across with something better than that, right? Either you have a home for them to see, you're checking in to see if they're still wanting to buy a home, right? Sometimes they're ghosted you for months. Hey, are you guys still in the market to buy a home? I found some homes that really look like they would work for you, and I just wanted to check to see where you're at. That is a value call, okay? Personalize your attempt to engage or re-engage with video. How many of you are, Martin, you do video, right? Or who else is doing video on this call? Tristan does some video, she's not on this call. Guys, video is really cool. I know it's hard. It's hard for me too. I'm working on it. I'm not there yet, but video is a great way. Just send a quick video. Hey, this is Tina. You know, I showed you a home last week. I was just checking in with you. I found a couple of houses that you might like. I think it'd be great if we just jumped on a quick call. My phone number is blah, 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 blah. Let me know and send them a video, right? Or after an open house, guys. Hey, thank you all, not all, thank you for coming to my open house today. It was great meeting you. Don't have to use names because you're going to use it for all the people that came through, right? You're going to send it to all of them. You're going to text it to every one of them. You're standing in front, legit in front of the house that you had an open house on, and you send that out to everybody. Hey, thanks for coming in. You know, make sure that, you know, I'm following up with you, and we'll take great care of you. Whatever you want to say on that video, we can work on that later for the time we have right now. But these are just some quick ideas for you to personalize your attempt to engage and re-engage with video. Share listings in detail, important market updates. So, hey, I found this listing that I think might work for you, especially when they're looking at it 25,000 times online and they've ghosted you. It's like, what's going on, right? So send them that listing and say, hey, I found a home. They're going to think you're working hard for them behind the scenes 24/7. Have you ever had a client reach out and say, gosh, you've been working really hard for me. You send me listings at midnight, right? They don't realize that it's on like an auto setting. So there you go. That's what I wanted to cover today. Do you guys have any questions? Can you see where you need to practice? Can you see where you might have some limiting beliefs that you need to stop and really get back to making sure that you're doing those calls, even if you're not getting anybody on the other end, and why there's a pot of gold at the end of you making those contacts? So let's review really quick that first slide. 16 touches within a 2 to 4 week span to engage a customer. Follow-up boss, religious use of follow-up boss. 44% of salespeople give up after one follow-up attempt. A lot of agents don't even have a CRM, okay? So no, there's no help there, right? 6 phone call attempts get you the conversion 95% of the time. 6 calls to $2,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 commission. Can you guys commit to that? Or do you want to be another statistic? That's your choice. And we're here for you. Love you lots. And I know you guys can do this. I have full faith and we're always here to help. Thank you for your time today. Do you guys have any other questions before we wrap?
I have a question, Tina.
Okay.
If you have a lead that says they want to buy, but they're probably like 6 months out, how often should we be touching base with them?
You know what? I think there was a slide for that I wanted to go over. Let me see if it's here. There was some rule of thumb, and I'm going to teach more on this. That's why I have more slides here, but not today. Don't we have a 6-month nurture in follow-up boss on how to do it? I'm pretty sure we do. So you just follow your follow-up boss smart list when they're in nurture. What is the average number of touches before conversion happens in 16? How do you win a nurture game? I know I saw some.
So if you have it in nurture, it'll have you follow up with them once a month. And I would say try to touch base with them a lot more times than that right before the 6 months is up, because usually by the time the 6 months is up, when they're ready, they probably already have an agent that they're talking to. So you might want to try calling them more consistently, maybe closer to like a month and a half out, before they're actually said that they were ready to begin with.
Exactly. Dude, there was a script not a script, there was a stat in here, and I don't know where it is right now, but there was a stat that talked about that very same thing.
Okay, because I have like a couple of them in the nurture status, but I don't think like follow-up's not recommending me to like, hey, it's been a week, give them a call or anything like that. So I'm not sure, maybe I'm doing something wrong.
You can always set up
Your own
tasks
task.
yourself. You can do your own.
Okay, yeah, that's what
That's
I've
what I
been
did.
doing. I just wasn't sure like how often it's recommended to reach out to them.
You certainly should be setting up a task and follow what Christian said, and always follow up long before they tell you, hey, we're 6 months out. You want to follow up like at month 4, 4.5. You want to follow up before that. But you also, what I've done in the past too, is I will get permission. Hey, I know you're 6 months out. A lot of my clients have started in the same place as you are. And it's never too busy. It's never too early to get together and really understand what you're looking for in a home. That way we have a game plan in place for when the time comes, you are ready to go. So now you're capturing a buyer consultation opportunity. Does that make sense?
Another thing too would be like if they say, hey, I'm 6 months out, say, okay, that's great. Can I follow up with you in half that time in 3 months just to see where you're at and just, kind of check in base. That's what I usually would do.
And I would not ask them permission to follow up. I would say, hey, I will follow up with you periodically. I promise not to bother you, but I want to make sure that I'm there for you if you have any questions. And then when the time comes that you're ready, we'll hit the ground running. Again, I would always go for the buyer consultation first and say, wow, you're 6 months out. That's great. I work in your timeline. I have clients that are 6 months out, a lot of clients. And what they found was that meeting with me and just kind of going over on Zoom or however you want to do it for the buyer consultation is going over really what they're looking for in a home, having their timeline, getting the lender stuff lined up. If there's any bumps in the road in your finances, we can work those kinks out before that 6 months time is up, like your lease or whatever they're talking about is up. And then you'll be ready to go. You'll hit the ground running and we'll be able to negotiate stronger for you. You're always giving them benefit. And so would it be a good time for us to meet maybe this weekend for literally 30 to 40 minutes on Zoom, if you like, and just so you face with the name and also, setting you up for success for when you are ready in 6 months. Does that sound like a plan? So I know a
Tina,
lot
do
of you aren't doing.
you still send market updates, right, to the people that are 6 months out in emails, right?
Oh, yeah.
You want to touch them with stuff, value, always value, right?
Because what I've been doing, I hear they're 6 month look out, like 2 of the Zillows I have right now. I tell them that's great, but I'm going to keep you up to date with the market so you kind of get a good grasp of what we're looking forward in the future.
Yeah. One of the things I do, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, with my clients who are 6 months to even a year out, is not only do I like to meet with them up front, and my clients have found that that's been very valuable for them because they're set up for success out the gate and they're ready to go when that 6 month period is up. Also, I stay in touch with market updates just to kind of keep, I keep my ear to the ground for you, the thumb on the market. And that way I just send you, valuable information about the market, once a month. So that's going to be coming to you. I promise I won't spam you. That's what I do. That's part of my service to you. So, tell them that's what you're going to do.
Nice.
Yeah,
Right?
I think another big thing also you need to also remind them that sometimes it does take 45 days for them to get through escrow, So, I mean, you want to be able to know if they actually want to make a move in 6 months or if they would just want to start looking in 6 months.
Oh, great
Because
question.
that's pretty huge when it comes to, sometimes they don't realize it. They're like, oh, well, my lease is up in 6 months. That's when I want to get a home, or that's when I want to start looking. But the reality is that I normally recommend for people to start the process maybe 3 months before they're actually ready, 2-3 months before they're ready, so that they can have everything in place and find the home and be ready to go by the time they say their lease is up.
You must be an ISA.
No, and then that's what agents should be doing too.
Yeah.
100%. So what, you say 6 months, let me ask you, 6 months to be in a home or 6 months to get started on your home search journey? Just get clarity. It's a great question to ask. You should be asking that for sure. And you guys are going to say, some of you newer agents, where's the script for that? Right? Well, I'm sure there is a script for it, but some of this dialogue just comes out of just like pure, logic. It's kind of logical to go there, right?
What's a good website, I guess, to share in regards to the market updates to send to potential clients?
Our Altos reports are great. You can send them, a one-liner of the active properties, even off the MLS that are active in their search criteria. You can just send them one-liners and show them that the inventory is going up or down, or, but I would just say zip code with the Altos report, explain it in an email. I've gotten listings, guys. I don't even know how I do it, but I've gotten listings where there's homes I haven't never stepped foot in, just by giving them a very detailed outline of the value of their home and why and what's going on with the market, and literally educating them in a freaking email. And then they list with me. It's like, I've never even been in your house. There's a house right now I've never been in and never met the seller. It's the one on Foxhall in San Marcos. Never met the dude. Right. But he thinks he's in the best hands ever because of the data that I sent him and explained to him. And, so it's just, make sure it has meat, make sure there's good value there, not just this random report that says, oh, and by the way, everybody's on that HomeBot too. You guys familiar with that?
Yeah.
So the HomeBot, they're in there, they log in and they're looking at stuff. Right. So, to me though, I've looked at some of those and there's the value of the properties are way different than what I'm coming up with. So that's a little scary because I don't want my own objections, coming from our own software, coming back and hitting us in the face. So there's some things there I want to do to look into that. But I would literally tap into Altos reports. And if you guys, maybe we should do a class on Altos again. I did one probably a year ago. So I'll do one on Altos, but there's a lot of great videos in Altos reports for education on how to read the report. So then you can learn how to articulate what the information is to your clients. Okay.
I also use Josh's weekly email, and then Erica with Neo Home Loan. They both sometimes they have some really good attachments.
Yeah.
I just send those attachments in emails.
Yeah, do that as well. Yeah, send stuff like that. Again, don't spam all your people, but have a very consistent way to follow up. The stats say that you got to hit them how many times did it say?
16.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you go for today. We're over time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for
Thanks, Tina,
collaborating.
for your time as well.
I hope you
Appreciate
guys
it.
learned something today, and get on and practice with each other, guys. It's the best way to learn. Then you don't have to think about it ever again. I have scripts from years ago that's still in my head. All right, so go get them, guys. I'm proud
Right.
of you. Take
Tina.
care. Bye.